Fossils from Antarctica discovered over 260 million years old. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project, how the heck are you? I found the original article on ScienceDaily.com. I'll leave a link in the video description box. I put together a quick article as well on forums.leakproject.com. Now, let me just give you the rundown here and show you, real quick, the general area where many of these fossils that were brought back, they were able to link these fossils to 13 different types of trees, and they're at least 260 million years old. So this is in the Trans-Antarctic Mountains, and this rewrites history. At least 260 million years old. Now, you can go to leakproject.com or forums.leakproject.com, and you can read the article that I put together. Also, definitely check it out at sciencedaily.com as well. Right here, as you can see, these mountains far above the ice below. Now, when you read the article, Erik Gulbranson, he's a paleoecologist and assistant professor at the UWM, that's the University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. He traveled to Antarctica from late November through January and brought back fossil fragments of 13 trees in the McIntyre frozen slopes in the Trans-Antarctic Mountains. These fossils are over 260 million years old, which means that the forest grew at the end of the Permian period, before the dinosaurs. The Permian period ended about 251 million years ago in history's greatest mass extinction. As the Earth rapidly shifted from ice house to greenhouse conditions, over 90% of species on the Earth disappeared, including the polar forests. And because the Antarctic forests grew at polar latitudes where plants can't grow today, Gulbranson believes that the trees were an extremely hardy species and is trying to determine what caused their extinction. Now, there are many scientists today that believe the massive increase in the atmospheric greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, were the main culprits that caused the Permian Triassic extinction. The release of those elements, scientists believe also, were from several volcanic eruptions in Siberia that released tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere that lasted about 200,000 years. When Antarctica was warm and lush, it was a part of a supercontinent called Gondwana, spanning the southern hemisphere. Let me show you that here real quick. Will you just look at it? So Gondwana spans the entire southern hemisphere. It's also included, that would include the present day South America, India, Australia, Africa, the Arabian Peninsula. The forest then might have been a smaller assortment of foliage, yet each plant type would have a specific function within its environment, and they were highly resilient and capable of survival. So much, in fact, that according to the experts, this plant group must have been capable of surviving and thriving in a variety of environments. Gulbranson said it's extremely rare even today for a group to appear across nearly an entire hemisphere of the globe. So you look at the size of this supercontinent, it's about 60-something%, 64% of today's continents, and this entire supercontinent was covered in these small assortments of foliage, plants, and trees. Now, with that said, not only were they extremely resilient, but the plants and trees could withstand extreme light and dark, extreme weather, and even activate growing cycles on and off like a light switch. They had most likely the ability to force themselves into a dormant state during certain weather conditions and lack of light. ScienceDaily.com. I'll leave the link in the video description box. So my question is, ladies and gentlemen, what was civilization like on Earth 300 million years ago? Did people walk with the dinosaurs? They have artifacts ancient relics of dinosaurs and man. They have footprints of dinosaur and man in stone, in rock formations. Were there giants? Were there trolls? Were there dragons? Were there orcs? Were there gremlins? Were there goblins? Were there elves? Were there other fascinating and mysterious creatures that have been talked about, written about, and portrayed in films, TV shows, cartoons? These mythical creatures go back as far as time itself that is recorded. So if there were civilizations that thrived in Antarctica hundreds of millions of years ago, would their remains be salvageable? And what would they be? I mean, this is far beyond the Anunnaki. This is far beyond the Sumerian Kings list, or the Sumerian King list, which dates back about 400,000 years. This would change things so much, and history would be upside down, flipped over. It would be annihilated. The history that we know it would be gone. I mean, you're going back 260 million years. And things were different back then, geologically speaking. And it sounds to me like the survival skills of these plants is even greater than many today. And then there's this mass extinction about 251 million years ago that wipes out virtually everything on the planet. Volcanoes? Could be. But what's interesting also is I want to go back and look at this supercontinent, Gondwana. This is the article, Geologists Uncover Antarctica's Fossil Forests. Where's it at here? Here we go. Will you just look at it? So this supercontinent makes up South America, Africa, India, Antarctica, Australia. And it breaks apart. Would that be from a volcano? Do you think this was around the same time? What caused that? Was it this internal explosion that Chan Thomas talks about in the Adam and Eve story? It's an essay, very difficult to get your hands on it. You can find most of the essay online. Just type it in, search engine, it'll pull right up. He talks about how this gray matter actually releases from the inner core of the Earth, and it goes to the next part of the Earth, causing an internal explosion similar to an atomic bomb, and it causes these tectonic plates to move. So was that the culprit, which also caused volcanoes and mass winds and tidal waves, etc.? Was it a meteor? Was it a comet? Was it an asteroid? Was it a war? Was it some type of technology where people were trying to tap into the inner core to harness its energy, and in doing so, it released this just horrific event? Was it man-made? Was it natural? Is it just the way the world works? I mean, let's go back again and look at this, and you can get an idea on how massive this continent was at one time. It most likely goes hand in hand. So let's say that there was this highly advanced civilization 280 million years ago, 260 plus million years ago. How long were they around before that? And did some of them survive, and some of this ancient knowledge has been passed on through these bloodlines and discoveries and relics? What's in Antarctica? So if the powers that be discover technologies or healing capabilities or scientific breakthroughs in Antarctica, how long before the people that aren't there or aren't in the know or in the funding circles, how far out before they get a chance to have access to this, if ever? Is this why many of the leaders, political leaders, business tycoons, scientists, etc., is that why many high-ranking officials went to Antarctica over the past year or two? What are they discovering out there? I mean, this goes so far back. A civilization from 280 million years ago. What were they like back then? What did they have access to? Were there an assortment of beings like Lord of the Rings style? Why not? How many discoveries have there been that we know about of these different types of people? Hobbit people were discovered. I think it's just fascinating. I would love to be out there. And I'm actually working with somebody right now, a producer, and putting together a few episodes of excursions that the Leak Project is going to be promoting as well. It's going to be like a combination of Leak Project and a little offshoot of this new series. So we're going to put together a few episodes and see where it goes. Maybe it'll get picked up by a larger TV network, and they'll want to start showing it on the cable channels and the satellite channels. We'll see where it goes, but pretty excited about that. If it does well, which it will, the next step, a little or maybe a couple steps down, will be an excursion to Antarctica. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll keep you posted on that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all the contributions. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the constructive criticism. Thank you, everybody that's been a part of this. This is just the start. This is just the beginning. So much more on the horizon. Have an amazing day. Question everything. Be the change you want to see. Far above the ice below. Now, when you read the article, Erik Gulbranson, he's a paleoecologist and assistant professor at the UWM, that's the universalleakproject.com or forums.leakproject.com, and you can read the article that I put together. Also, definitely check it out at sciencedaily.com as well. Right here, as you can see, these mountains. Let me just give you the rundown here and show you real quick the general area where many of these fossils that were brought back, they were able to link these fossils to 13 different types of trees, and they're at least 260 million years old. So this is in the Trans-Antarctic Mountains, and this rewrites history. At least 260 million years old. Now, you can go to fossils from Antarctica discovered over 260 million years old. Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project, how the heck are you? I found the original article on ScienceDaily.com. I'll leave a link in the video description box. I put together a quick article as well on forums.leakproject.com. Now,